It is my dream to share stories and to speak to more than one person at a time. So thank you very much, Craig, for inviting me. I just told him I had some extra time, and he said, would you like to speak? And I said, of course I would, because I always say yes to good things. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I don't need you to put your hands up because meditation is a very private and personal thing. I'm just going to ask the questions so that you can think within yourself your own answers. Do you meditate? Do you sometimes think you should do it more often and then feel guilty because you get busy? Do you sometimes think you're doing it wrong? Do you sometimes think you're letting the divine down because you're not making it a regular practice? I personally have, at several points in my life, answered yes to all those questions. I began meditating a number of years ago when I read Shirley MacLaine's book, Out on a Limb. Oh my goodness, that book blew my mind open because I was in a very rigid, structured Christian denomination. And she spoke with aliens. For heaven's sakes, now that's not my calling, but she also talked about spirit guides and energy and manifesting, and I'm going, but that's how I think it should be. That resonated with me. And so I started meditating by sitting against a wall in my bedroom, because that was the only way that I could somehow form a lotus position with my back supported. I had no idea what I was doing. So I was told I was supposed to empty my mind. Well, that was pretty much impossible because my mind was as busy as a kicked wasp's nest. Everything was buzzing around and there's no way that I could shut it down. So I tried for several weeks and then I gave up. Every once in a while, I'd go to a class on meditation. I did guided meditations. I read about meditations. The concept intrigued me because I really wanted to touch that bliss of the divine, touching the hem of heaven, I call it. But sadly, I stayed very rooted to the ground. Then I was introduced to a spiritual organization called the Center for Positive Living in Calgary, Alberta. Now, when I first heard about it, someone said, oh, your spiritual ideas would fit very well in that organization. And I thought, an organization that shares the same thoughts I had? It must be a cult. So it took me 3 months before I walked through the front door. And even that Sunday, I remember driving around the block 3 times going, should I do this? But when I walked in the front door, I was home. And I heard the teaching and I knew I was in the right place. What I learned about meditation there was it was a practice that you do like water dripping on a rock. Now, you know that water dripping on a rock over time creates a dip, a channel, a path. It's not important what the pathway formed is. What's important is the consistent drip, one drip at a time. I thought a lot about meditation, and over the years, when I was writing several essays about different topics, I wrote about what I thought meditation was. And so I wrote 3 essays. One was about the methods of meditation, all the different things I heard. the motivation, why do it, and a metaphor. So I'm going to share with you, my essays are short on the most part, and I'm going to share from my book, Meditation 1 Methods. I have so many books in my library on meditation. I figured if I read enough of them, I would be able to glean the many common denominators and distill the most effective path to the heart of the practice. I have books that speak of breath awareness, breath control, the counting of breaths, walking methods, sitting and kneeling positions, visualization, and lying in corpse position, the one position I'm guaranteed to fall asleep in. I read about Hindu methods, Tai Chi movements, Falun Gong practices, yoga, Qigong, and Reiki techniques. I've ommed, chanted, and used mantras. I have listened to music such as Enigma or Deep Forest. I've stared at candles and stars in the sky. Through all of this, I know I've really never touched the essence of meditation, although I keep trying. There's something very mystical about practiced meditation. I can sense that below the surface of the physical act of sitting still and mental practicing of quietening the mind, there lies something unspeakable and indescribable. It is more than just doing it right. And yet, I realize without these tools, these practices, I will not find my way. Kelly, my 3-year-old granddaughter, loves to go swimming. We zip up her life jacket, put on her goggles, strap flippers to her feet, and she can move through the water like a little fish. Take away the life jacket, and she will sink like a stone. She can't swim yet, but with the aid of the life jacket, she gets familiar with what it feels like. With practice, she will eventually be able to shed the jacket and swim on her own. I know this is also true of meditation. If I continue the practice, do it every day, let go of the busy thoughts that always rush in, and focus on the moment now, the noisy clatter of my conscious mind will be swept away, and I will be able to commune with Divine Source in the silence of my mind. Then I will be able to put down the clumsy tools and swim in the ocean of the unknowable. So that was what I was thinking about in terms of the different ways that we try to get a handle on meditation, and everybody will have their own. Then I wrote about motivation. And I'm not going to read that whole one because it's a little bit longer, but I'm just going to read part of it where it says, "What brought me to this discipline again, and this time more successfully, was that I realized I was tired of being stressed, worried, and fearful. I had come to the point where I longed for a peaceful heart. I no longer wanted anyone or any circumstance to push my buttons and send me spinning off on the pre-mentioned states. I wanted to be grounded. I wanted to be patient. And most of all, I wanted to be more loving and compassionate. I knew I would only find all those things inside myself if I first sought the peace that passes all understanding, the peace of the divine. I began with the idea that for a few minutes each day, I would take time out to sit and listen to what the inner voice might have to say to me. And I knew that in order to hear that voice, I had to still my own. In September of 2022, when I went to visit my daughter in Washington, Missouri, I was there for 2 months. So I had lots of time to knit and crochet, write, and meditate. I started the practice more regularly then. And I even got a chance to talk to a bunch of ladies down on the riverside because somebody said, I have a women's group, you want to talk? Sure, okay. And so then I had to write something, and I was out there and I met all these interesting people, and I shared my message, and some of those ladies are still my friends to this day. Sometimes I would put a timer on my phone to make sure that I sat still for 15 minutes so I wasn't tempted to get up and do more crocheting and knitting. Many times interesting thoughts would pop in my head while I was meditating, but I was so intent of doing that 15 minutes that I let them go, and when I came out of my 15 minutes, the thoughts were gone. So now I meditate with a notepad beside me, because when some brilliant idea pops in, it deserves to be written down. I can go back to meditate. There are no rules. Eventually, it became a practice I actually looked forward to. If I got up and I was busy and I had to go to work or whatever, if I didn't take that time in the morning, I missed it. Then I started to realize that it wasn't only just that 15 minutes in the morning that was meditation. I had a job that was outside of the city of Calgary, it's in Cochrane, and I had to drive 20 minutes to get there. And so this little verse popped in my head that I would say, thank you for my life, thank you for this day, thank you for my blessings I've had along the way. Bless my sister, bless my granddaughter, bless the co-worker at work that didn't like me much. Bless, bless, bless. And I would go through this whole litany of people I would bless. And I always started at the top of the list, the ones I was having the most difficulty with. Bless, bless, forgive, forgive. What's this? Is this meditation? I was connecting to the divine. I felt elevated by it. My heart expanded, and I recognized that this was another form of meditation. A few years ago, I read a book called Zero Limits by Joe Vitale, and he told the story of a Hawaiian healer with the name of Dr. Hekalika Hulen, who healed a hospital of criminally insane patients by using a technique called Ho'oponopono. The key lines of this technique is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, I'm grateful. This teaching emphasizes that we are all connected to everyone, and everyone is us. And as we say these words, we're not just clearing for ourselves, we're clearing for everyone. If you wanted to know more about it, go to YouTube and just put in Ho'oponopono. And my favorite speaker is Hulen's teacher, Morana Namamaku Simona. And she does what's called the 108 repetitions and she expands on that to include our ancestors and people around the world. It's a beautiful meditation, and I sometimes just listen to that while I'm doing other things. I was gifted a set of mala beads by my son-in-law, and I use those. I will have a chant or a phrase or a mantra, and I will go through those 108 beads. I have never once put them down in the middle of it and walked away. I sat there until that last 108 beads went through my fingers. I have this one mantra that I really love. I live and breathe and have my being in the grace of God. This I chant as I walk down the street, if I'm going to work, if it's freezing cold in Calgary and I'm trudging through on my way to go somewhere. I live and breathe and have my being in the grace of God. I live and breathe and have my being in the grace of God. And it becomes a chant. That's also a form of meditation. There are days when my level of vibration is not where I want it to be. And so here I am driving down the Deerfoot on my way to work, and I want to elevate, but I have to keep my eyes on the road. Love, 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 joy, joy, joy. I chant those words to myself. I imagine those feelings expanding beyond my form. By the time I walk into work or wherever I'm going, I'm in a good place, exactly where I want to be. There is no way to meditate incorrectly. There is no guilt. There is no judgment. As you practice it, in any way that you are comfortable, it's all about a connection with your soul to the divine. This illustration came to me when I was writing an essay called Body, Soul, Spirit, because I was wondering what's the difference between the soul and the spirit. And so this image came to me, and thanks to chat and with all the wonderful colors it added, when I meditate now, I remember, I focus on this image, and I go from my body and I go into my soul, and then I elevate to my spirit, knowing that that is the connection to the perfect divine source. And that's when I start to lose track of time. It's amazing. The very first time I heard someone say to me, "You're not a body with a soul, you're a soul with a body," and poof, I was the State Puft Marshmallow Man, and I could feel this huge energy around me and putting its arms around me and loving me. Oh, yes, you've been with me all the time and I haven't been paying any attention. So, do whatever feels comfortable for you in love and joy and connection, and it's another drip on the rock. And so it is. Thank you.